Hello, this is a video reply to jinxjinx34, who made the first comment on my The Atheist Delusion video. It's the last video I posted. jinxjinx34 says, wishing that there was some sort of eternal afterlife or immortality and believing in these things are two different things. Yes, I agree with that, Jinx. The fact that neither of these ideas have produced enough evidence to be considered in daily discourse is good enough reason for logical people not to obsess over them. Well, I would disagree with this because some people do care about the possibility of God, and this does come up in daily discourse, even for agnostics and atheists. Okay, just because there's no proof for a God, which I totally acknowledge, obviously, just the possibility that there's a God and that this God could affect our eternal life, possibly, theoretically, hypothetically, that is enough of a reason for some people. I consider it logical to obsess over, it depends on what you call obsess, but I think it's a very smart thing to consider the possibility that there could be some sort of theoretical, hypothetical God, even if there's no proof. To me, that makes sense. And okay, let's see what your next comment is. Realizing that your life is most certainly finite, you fail already by saying that my life is most certainly finite. No, you can't say that. You don't know that it's a certainty that life is finite. It's not logical. So he says, realizing that your life is most certainly finite and living in such a manner that you leave civilization a little better than you found it is infinitely more noble than slithering through life believing you are on to better things in your next incarnation. Well, first of all, I don't see the meaning. What's the significance to you if you leave civilization off better than you found it if you die? What do you care? From a selfish perspective, you're dead. What does it matter if you left something behind? What does it matter if you've left the world a better place? I don't see why that should matter if you're dead. So the next assumption you make here is that it's about your next incarnation. No, not necessarily. If there's a theoretical God, it's possible that this theoretical God would save you in this life, cause you to live forever physically in the here and now on this world. It doesn't necessarily have to do with a next incarnation. So the next comment is, just because you want eternal life does not mean that the possibility must exist. Yes, I agree with that. The possibility for eternal life existing has nothing to do with whether I want it or not, but you still haven't refuted that the possibility actually does exist, which it does. The possibility that we could live forever is just that. It's a possibility. If this theoretical God you speak of does exist, do you not think it would be very aware of your selfishness? Google Pascal's wager. This is not a new idea you have. Well, yeah, if there was a theoretical God, it definitely would be aware of my selfishness because I've made it very obvious that my motives are selfish. But for another person, they could possibly hide their selfish motives. I can't because I've I'm out of the closet on that one. I've told everyone that my motives are selfish. I want to live forever. And this theoretical God, if there's a hypothetical God that, then they would know that. Yeah. But, so I'm taking a gamble on that. I'm risking it. I'm thinking that if there was a hypothetical God, this God wouldn't really care if my motives are selfish, because whose motives really aren't selfish? I think everyone is selfish. Everything everyone does is all selfish. You can always trace it back to a selfish motive. Even for altruistic deeds, everything is just selfish. Everyone has a selfish motive for everything. So, seriously, the person who does good, they're doing good because they wanted to do good. They had a reason to do it. Okay, they wanted to feel good about themselves. Everyone has their own reasons, but it's all selfish. Okay, Pascal's wager. No, what I'm talking about is not Pascal's wager. It's different. It's similar, but it's very different. I've made videos. You can just search my channel for Pascal's wager. I've made videos explaining how the agnostic code is not Pascal's wager. It's a different wager. It's my own wager. I call it the agnostic wager. And the difference is that my wager does not depend upon anyone believing in God. It has nothing to do with believing. Even an atheist can participate in my wager while remaining an atheist. Okay? So, it has nothing to do with Pascal. Pascal's wager, his whole wager was based on the presumption that someone can decide to believe in God. Obviously, that's false. What we believe is not our choice. We don't have a choice in the matter. It's just we're convinced of something or not. People are convinced of God or they're not. So, no, it's not Pascal's wager. This is kind of a new idea I have. It's actually different. My wager is simply that anyone, despite of their beliefs, despite of whether they believe in God or not, they can act with their behaviors, their actions. They can act in such a way to try to gain the favor of a theoretical God based upon their best guess. Okay, based upon their estimation of what a theoretical, hypothetical God would reward. And anyone can do that, even an atheist can, in order to prepare for an unknown possibility. This is something anyone can do. Pascal's wager was nonsense. I hate Pascal's wager. So do not say this is Pascal's wager. Okay, last thing. He says, examine the idea of being an exceedingly good person in hopes that you will get a reward from God. This is not humanity. This is idolatry. Although I do not believe altruism truly exists, idolatry seems to be one of the worst reasons to be good. Oh! He says, although I do not believe altruism truly exists. So it sounds to me like he also believes everyone's motives are selfish. Is this not correct? jinxjinx34? It sounds like you're telling me that you also acknowledge that everyone's really selfish and there is no real altruism. That's cool that you agree with that. Okay, idolatry seems to be one of the worst reasons to be good. As far as reasons to be good, as long as you're being good, isn't that what counts? I mean, and I don't think this is a bad reason. A selfish motive, it's not sinister, it's not like an evil motive. I want to be good, exceptionally good, exceedingly good, just in hopes that maybe I'll be rewarded for it. So what? That's not bad. Why are you going to call that, idolatry? I mean, yeah, technically, okay, I'm trying to just suck up to this theoretical, hypothetical God. So you might call that idolatry. My real idolatry is of eternal life. That's my idol. That's my God. I'll do anything to get eternal life. Anything. Because that is my God. I worship the very idea of living forever. I have to live forever. Life is meaningless if we don't live forever. If we just live and then just die, what's the point of anything? That's why I would do anything to live forever, including sucking up to some theoretical, hypothetical God that might not even exist. And if you really wanted to live forever, you would do the same, because even if it's just a small chance that there is a God, even if it's just a tiny chance, it's worth it to increase your own chances of living forever. So that is my final conclusion to that. Thank you, jinxjinx34. It was a great comment. Well, it was great for discussion. Thank you. Goodbye. Always remember that we should try to live forever physically with life extension technology. That's the first priority, because there might not be any gods to save us. Preparing for a hypothetical God is just another precautionary thing you can do in order to increase your chances. But it's imperative that we cure aging, because it's wishful thinking to think that there is even a God at all. There's no proof for it. To learn more about curing aging, research Aubrey de Grey and the Eternal Life Fan Club and Sen's Foundation. Thanks for watching.